topic is INDUS seal and script, a point of discussion. But before I will go to the topic, I would like to inform you that today we are celebrating World Kindness Day. People celebrate World Kindness Day every year on November 13th as a part of the World Kindness movement. It promotes kindness among all living creatures across the world. Various countries, such as the United States, Japan, India, and Australia, among others, observe this day with numerous events. People devote this day with an act of kindness to understand the peace it brings to everyone around them. The mission of the World Kindness Movement and World Kindness Day is to create a kinder world by inspiring individuals and nations towards greater kindness. We are sure that you will make a practice to do an act of kindness every day. Thanks. Now, we are also celebrating today peace, Dhanteras, to everyone around them. Dhantrodashi or Dhanteras is the first day of the 5-day long Diwali festivals in India. It is believed that on this day, the goddess of wealth, Lakshmi, emerged from the ocean during the churning of milk. Hence, Lakshmi and Kubera, the gods of wealth, are worshipped on this day. One of the popular rituals on this day is making new purchases, especially of gold or silver articles and also utensils. Dhanvantri, who is also worshipped on the occasion of Dhanteras, is considered the god of Ayurveda, who imparted the wisdom of Ayurveda for the betterment of mankind and to help rid it of the suffering of disease. On this auspicious occasion, we wish you all very happy Dhanteras. Now coming to the point of our today's topic, and the today's topic is Indus seal and script, a point of discussion. The Indus seal is a seal that was discovered at the Mohenjo-daro archaeological site of the Indus Valley civilization. The seal depicts a seated figure that is possibly tricephalic, having 3 heads. It was once thought to be a ithrophalic, an interpretation that is now mostly discarded. The man has a horned headdress and is surrounded by animals. He may represent a horned deity. The seal is kept in the National Museum of India in New Delhi. It has one of the more complicated design in the thousands of seals found from the Indus Valley civilization, and is unusual is having a human figure as the main and largest element in most seals. This is an animal. It has been claimed to be one of the earliest depictions of Hindu god Shiva or a proto-Shiva deity. The name given to the seal, Pashupati, meaning Lord of Animals, is one of the Shiva's epithets. It has also been associated with the Vedic god Rudra, generally regarded as an early form of Shiva. Rudra is associated with asceticism, yoga, and linga, regarded as a lord of animals, and Shiva may be depicted with 3 heads. The figure has often been connected with the widespread motif of the master of animals found in the ancient Near Eastern and Mediterranean art and the many other traditions of horned deities. The Indus script, also known as the Harappan script, is a corpus of symbols produced by the Indus Valley civilization. Most inscriptions containing these symbols are extremely short, making it difficult to judge whether or not these symbols constituted a script used to record a language or even symbolize a writing system. In spite of many attempts, the script has not yet been deciphered, but efforts are ongoing. There is no known bilingual inscription to help decipher the script, and the script shows no significant changes over time. However, some of the syntax, if that is what it may be termed, varies depending upon location. The first publication of a seal with Harappan symbols dated dates to 1875 in a drawing by Alexander Cunningham. Since then, over 4,000 inscribed objects have been discovered, some as far afield as Mesopotamia as a consequence of ancient Indus Mesopotamia relations. In the early 1970s, Irvatham Mahadevan published a corpus and concordance of Indus inscriptions listing 3,700 seals and 417 distinct signs in specific patterns. He also found that the average inscription contained 5 symbols and the longest inscription contained only 26 symbols. Early examples of the symbol systems are found in an early Harappan and Indus civilization context dated to possibly as early as the 35th century BCE. In the mature Harappan period from about 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE, strings of Indus signs are commonly found on flat, rectangular stamp seals as well as many other objects including tools, tablets, ornaments, and pottery. The signs were written in many ways, including carving, chiseling, paintings, and embossing on objects made of many different materials such as soapstone, bone, shell, terracotta, sandstone, copper, silver, and gold. Often animals such as bulls, elephants, rhinoceros, water buffaloes, and the mythical unicorn accompanied the text on seals to help the illiterate identify the origin of a particular seal. And we have done 2 programs on this topic. And in both the programs, in first program, our first guest, Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra was there, and Dr. Puneet Gupta. In the next program, only Dr. Puneet Gupta was there. But today, we have again both Dr. Ranjana Mishra and Dr. Puneet Gupta are with us. And we are going to discuss about the seal and script, which Dr. Puneet Gupta, in his words, his breakthrough, has already shown in detail and described in details about the seal and script in last 2 episodes. Today, I would like to introduce my first guest, and she is Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra. Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra is the former professor and head of the Department of History at Shri M.D. Shah Mahila College of Arts and Commerce, Mumbai. She is the visiting faculty, Lucknow University and MET University, Lucknow. She did her BA honors in history from Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi, New Delhi in 1983. She did her MA in history from Department of History from Bhagalpur University with specialization in modern history in 1988. She did PhD in history from University of Patna in 1991. Her thesis was role of women in promoting social changes in Bihar from 1917 to 1957. Her more than 100 papers have published in reputed journals. She authored 4 books. She did 2 researches which were UGC sponsored. First, major research on local history of Mumbai. Secondly, minor research on ancient metallic utensils and its economic viability. She was invited by various countries like USA, Japan, China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Nepal, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan for paper presentation. She presented more than 200 papers at national and international conferences. In 2001, she got SNDT Women's University Mumbai's Best Teacher Award. In 2019, she got Best Teacher Award from Jan Seva Samitik Sanchalit Shri M.D. Shah Mahila College Award. She won Bharat Siksha Award in 2017. Welcome, Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra on our show. Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra, you were present in the first show, but in the second show, you were not there, where Dr. Puneet Gupta explained further about the seal and the script. but you have seen both the programs in detail. Now, we would like to start from you. What you want to ask, or first you want to say anything, you are free to say, and then whatsoever you want to ask, you can raise a question. Then I will introduce Dr. Gupta, and he will be answering your question. Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra, please.
A very good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I want to congratulate Dr. Puneet Gupta for his stellar work. Any discovery in collaborate is a collaborative effort around the world. And if he has been successful in decoding the Harappan script, it would help further humanity to understand of whether from where we came and where we are going. It would provide a clue to solve the mystery of Harappan civilization, which is just based on archaeological sources, as I had mentioned it in my previous talk. And literary sources are missing. So it would provide a new chapter to history, and there would be uh, reconstructing of history or rewriting of history. Dr. Gupta, after going through your work, as I was not there, I have certain questions in my mind, which I am sure would elaborate your findings and clarify the doubts simmering in the minds of the academicians, historians, as well as the masses. So I'll start
No,
with.
no, Doctor, sorry, Professor and Dr. Mishra. What I will do first, I will introduce Dr. Gupta to our
Okay.
viewers, and then you can start the question.
Okay.
Okay, so now I will introduce my second guest, and he is Dr. Puneet Gupta. Dr. Puneet Gupta is MBBS, MD, DNB, DM. Is Dr. Gupta is the founder of mdspiritualbiology.com and Puneet Code Indus.com, New Delhi. He has been publishing his work on Indus valleys for last 8 years. He had grown as an Indologist of repute in solving the enigma of Indus Valley related objects like Claudron, priest statue, Indus Valley deities depicted on seals as well as the Indus inscription. His breakthrough in exactly cracking the Claudron that is seen in more than half the Indus seals in front of wool has been accepted as the most relevant find. The works of earlier known authorities, including Mr. M.S. Watts, Mr. John Marshall of London, Mr. Iravatham Mahadevan, was unable to address obvious finds. He has undertaken the 10,000 US dollar prize challenge of farmer Steve for decipherment of Indus script. This year, 2020, being that 100th year of Indus Valley discovery in 1920, he is planning for a keyboard and software for Indus writing, com- compendium and dictionary so as to enable artificial intelligence to be used in team to help collect Indus inscription decipherments throughout the globe so that the very first mother tongue of human civilization is available to all human across the globe. He has worked on a hypothesis of deciphering Indus inscription down to the level of identifying actual vowel and consonants rather than decoding them as pictures or meaning or ribus. His hypothesis of decipherment of vowels and consonants is based on human biology of phonation and articulation of human speech and is likely to reveal what has been actually written rather than postulating indirect meanings on 10,000 USD challenge seal, Dhola Vira board, Israel Hafia ship, wretch, tin slabs, and also table of lion. He found a breakthrough that Indus deity Dattatreya Hari is closely related with speech, function, and articulation. Also, the Dattatreya Hari tradition has continued from 7000 BC to till date by means of the Dattatreya Yoga that encompass both Vedic as well as Tantric ancient teachings. The tradition transfer Hari awareness to deserving practitioners of the Dattatreya Avadut, Gita, and later Ramayana and recent Gita follow exactly the same six levels of spiritual awareness vocabulary of Char, Akshar, Pra, Avdut, Puran, Brahm, Nirvan. Dr. Puneet Gupta's next breakthrough is decoding the Kartike and seven Kartika seal depicted Kartike as a main war deity of Indus Valley throughout North and South India, as was continued to be given patronage by Gupta kings of 600 AD and South India Chola kings. Single horn unicorn bull has been decoded not as a mythological animal, rather celestial sky related Taurus constellation, as majority of vernal equinox of Indus Valley happen in Taurus constellation or Hindu Vrish Rashi. Priest kings of that era are decoded as important disciple of Dattatreya Hari like King Yadu, King Kriti, Veera, Arjun, and Hari Brahman, Kshatriya Parashram, the one that had encountered with Lord Ram after breaking arrow of Shiva. He cracked the first ever Indus medical seal that detailed the procedure of delivering under blessings from GT of safe delivery. With his breakthrough results, he firmly believed that Indus Valley civilization was well spared throughout North and South India. Indus Valley heritage has percolated from a Proto-Brahmi text into Sanskrit as well as in the Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Rajasthani, Punjabi, Indo-Greek, Indo-Iran, Indo-European culture of current day with same characters and vocabulary, especially Vaishnav deity Dattatreya and Shiva's son Kartike, as well as it was shown by Dr. Puneet Code breakthrough work on Indus Valley civilization, Puneet Code Indus.com. Welcome, Dr. Puneet Gupta, on my show. Now, Dr. Puneet Gupta, as you know, you have already attended both the shows and you have described in detail about the seals and the script. And last show, Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra was not there, but today she is there to ask some questions to you to clarify further if any doubts are there, so that your whatsoever you have done, the breakthrough can be cemented further. So I would like request Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra to ask her first question, please.
Uh, Dr. Puneet Gupta, once again, I congratulate you for your stellar work. And whatever queries I have, actually, these are not the questions, but some queries. And I neither want to refute you, but I'm sure these queries will help you in elaborating your findings and removing the doubts of the scholars. My first question is that Indus Valley is considered enigmatic. The script is considered enigmatic by the historians. So, when I say enigmatic, what I mean to say that so far 2,300 seals have been found, and most of the seals like only carry six maximum six symbols, and the few of them they carry 26 symbols. So how did you resolve this issue? Because historians they feel inscriptions are short, so it is enigmatic, and second, it has not changed over the years. In 4,000 years it never changed, the symbols remained the same. So how did you, how can you, like, how did you resolve this issue? Thank you. Two questions are there.
Yeah. Dr. Gupta, please. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Gupta. Please unmute. Please unmute, Dr. Gupta. Yes. Yes, Dr. Gupta.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra, for your kind words and for your questions. The very important enigma of
Dr. Gupta, please.
Indus script is
Please unmute yourself,
beyond
Dr.
the
Gupta.
factor.
Please unmute,
It
Dr.
is,
Gupta.
the always people
Yes, Dr.
cry over that they are very small text, very little words. But we have to understand the Hindu tradition and our initial writings. If you see the Brahm Sutra. The factor. So the if you see they were writing, if you have read Brahm Sutra, you will find only one word or two words or three words maximum. And if you see, there is a very good commentary now available by Adi Shankaracharya Ji Maharaj, and that tells us very vividly he Brahma Athato Jigyasa. The very first, the proverb from that, if you see, he has expanded it and then tried to explain it in, you say, maybe 15 pages or so, you know. And some people may take around 30 pages to explain even the first verse. So means there was a concept of very strong, I will say, vocabulary to define things. And that time, it was not that language was not there, but the very good vocabulary has already developed, what we have to realize. So they need not write very long thing. Let's say if I write a thing that there is an animal with a horn and that has four legs and that has a long tail and that runs very fast, and go give the description and all that. So, or if we simply write cow or buffalo, if we have had that vocabulary, or we write, let's say, vrish, or we write uh, let's say tiger, or we write lion, then it itself define very many characters. It is not like it is a simple creation of a word or a vocabulary. Let's say I was surprised myself when I found, Brahm Sutra. I was reading why people are questioning, because the Brahm, the Vedas write only about one thing, that they call it Brahm. But in English, we write it Brahman. So it creates a lot of confusion, and people, some write, confuse it with Brahma. So some confuse it with Brahman. So there is a lot of confusion. But I may tell you, Vedas only, they don't worship, let's say, Rama, they don't worship Krishna, they don't worship anything. They essentially, the main deity concept is Brahm. And then the Rudra and Indra and the Agni and all these things, they are, devtas which have been defined, devtas as another definition. But I will say the your answer is that the very small words define very great concepts. Even the seal, behind me in the Pashupati seal, what they have written, it defines a very long process what we achieve after the yoga. And when you do very higher yoga, and then let's say if I tell you, I write a word khechri, so there is a khechri kriya in yoga. When you go very high in meditation and you have very high experience, you ask any yogi in Himalayas, he will tell you khechri kriya. And the people who do higher yoga, kriya yoga, so they always
Please, Dr. Gupta, you have muted yourself.
so
Dr. Gupta, huh.
yeah. So I mean to say, your answer is, please refer to Brahm Sutra. That's a very long and most authentic. The Vedic God is represented in that Brahm Sutra, and very few words, one word, two word, three word. Even I was shocked that even you see Brahm Sutra,
Please,
there is
Dr.
a
Gupta, you have muted
one
yourself.
word only which maybe have 10 letters, 20 letters, 30 letters, but it is all one word. It is unbroken one word. So you can imagine the vocabulary. I is really surprising how these people have evolved that very strong vocabulary. Let's say if I say, let's say to explain Dattatreya, we have to write Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, but they should not be separate. It is not comma, because he has the all the qualities of three. He has the power of creation, he has the power of dissolution, and he has the power of maintenance. So these three words, if you write separately, it means separate deities. But if you write it in a one go, it's like a egg, or you can say it is like a power pack. It is like a conglomerated force, or the enlightened personality, persona. So this answer is that, let's go back and read Brahm Puran, and you will find your answer. Very small words actually should be interpreted, that they had very, very strong vocabulary to define almost each and everything, and especially higher yoga. So words like Shar, Akshar, Para, Paratpar, Avdut, and Nirvana, Moksha, and Puran Brahm, just in whole of the Hindu concept, you can just summarize in one word, Puran. If you write a Puran on the rock, means he is totally enlightened.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, that's the thing I wanted to ask you. How could you read that? Because the inscriptions, the scripts are
I'll,
so. So I
okay.
just
That's
wanted
the
to
second,
know.
second
Who,
part. Very nice.
see, moksha and all those things came much later. Here, even though if you read moksha, we will like to see that. How did you? Because
Okay.
that's the thing, historians, they could not, the
Okay.
scholars have not found it.
Okay, I will tell you my hypothesis because my work, as I requested you, is being published and it is getting copyright. But I will give you my hypothesis. I can always enlighten.
Okay, thank you.
Hypothesis part is that, I am a cancer specialist. So actually, how I got into it. So when my patient came, one of the patient came, and he had a cancer of the mouth. So he was telling, and his tongue was full of cancer. And when it's coming out, he's going, then I realized one day I was just sitting. I say, oh, see, the God has given everything in symmetry. If you see, the leaves are symmetrical, the flowers are symmetrical, our whole body is symmetrical. Even now the space scientists, they say even the distribution of matter in the cosmos is symmetrical. So I mean to say, there is so, and there is always a beauty in symmetry. If I have a face which is symmetrical, I will be just like a perfect person. Or if my, let's say, pot, or if the any even now the space scientists, they say liking that, and there may be complex symmetrical pattern. So I mean to say, even human body, you see the creation of the human body, it is apparently from outside it is made symmetrical. So what is very, very important to understand is, when I realized, oh, why this person is not able to speak properly, oh, this is the problem in the phonation, because this organ of speech, organ of articulation is not proper. Then I said, okay, now let me go. But as a doctor, I will say more intricacy to it. Then I gave a hypothesis of the, let's say, vocabulary formation phonetics, as per the, goes through the various, let's say, tongue, teeth, and one more thing I will tell you, beauty of human organs of articulation. If you see our incisors, this is a very sharp teeth. Incisor of upper incisor, it matches the lower incisor. Upper premolar matches the lower premolar. Upper canine, it matches the lower canine. Means even for phonation, symmetry was so important that human evolution, if you see, has taken itself in a very symmetrical note. Even our teeth are symmetrical. You see the beauty inside. So even designing of the teeth was so symmetrical, so that our articulation, our phonation, it becomes very symmetrical. Then I found that Indus script is also very symmetrical. So I was shocked. Then I wrote a biological hypothesis. So my hypothesis was that the symmetry of the Indus world is very, very important, and this is directly proportional to how we articulate. Then I found, one more very practical. Somebody always asks me, so what the use is this? You are getting back to Indus script. Why you want to use this? Then I, saw the program, and when we have launched the Chandrayaan mission, the signal was going, people were not able to follow. Then I realized suddenly that Indus script could have been really wonderful, because if you transmit that and signals, everything is symmetrical. Even if half of the signal goes, half of the signal dies, and at various places, let's say half of the right corner goes and half of the left corner goes, but if the computer software is there, and that, malfunctioned signal, it reaches the Chandrayaan, it will recreate, because that software is already there, and it can recreate that image from the left, because left is equal to right and right is equal to left. So missing left he can create with the right side, and missing right he can create with the left side. So the, even, cosmic signal sending will be much easier if we write in the Indus script. So this is the information, and I may tell you, one day we can really, India can do wonder in cosmic transmission of the signals if we use the Indus script, I may tell you. And you have already know, side people are telling time and again, that Sanskrit is the best language for computer. And you know the intricacy of Sanskrit. I need not tell, people have written volumes, and this is a wonderful language. Sanskrit is the best suitable language not only for computer but also for you can say communication. And especially Indus script is the mother of, you know, the Sanskrit, the Brahmi, and they are the, I will say, the modified, or the, I still say, wrong forms. Because if you will see, when I will break the code, you will be shocked that what exact science is this Indus script, and how wonderful, how labile, how scientific, because it's all has evolved from a scientific basis of the great symmetry.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta. But I still feel like a large number of scholars, like Rao, Mahadevan, Paushal, Neha Yadav, Parpola, you must have heard, because for last 40 years he has been working at Helsinki University, and he's working to decode, Harappan, and so far he has not been successful. So your work and their work, have you, like, have you tried to establish some correlationship with their works? Did you talk to them? What are their research findings, or any evidence that you can share with us? Because if you have found, and they are also working, so I'm sure you can establish us. So have you done that? Because they have been working for last 40 years, especially Parpola. And even now, if you know, there is SK Srivastava who claims that it is very similar to recently, but he is unable to decode, after 3-4 lines he is unable to read the script. So have you tried to establish a relationship, or means try to contact them, and did you send your work to them?
Okay. Now, first coming to the story of the people, what they are doing in the field, I can summarize for you. There are 10 schools of thought in deciphering the Indus script. 100 papers have been published in last 100 years. And one school of thought say it is not a language at all. Second school of say they are just some mischievous people who are drawing some idiotic things on the clay and everywhere,
Yeah,
and
you
they are
had
just
said
like
it in.
graffiti. They are just graffiti. Third school of thought, they say it is a mixed thing. It is a pictography, and they are simple ideas. Picture may tell the real thing. Let's say animal, buffalo is buffalo, but some they say no buffalo. So that is a one pictography and the idea. Then fourth school of thought, they say this is syllabus. Syllable means they are the complex letters which they have intertwined. So they only stop at syllable. They say there are no letters, no vowel, no consonant. Their next school of thought, they say there are letters, they say there are vowels, and there are consonants. So that school of thought, firmly believe, and they write the whole, text. They say this is a very colloquial language. And one book I read, I was shocked. They say this is all have written about, you can say, this is something like a in a village colloquial language, and it is a very crude language. So whatever word he can assign, he has assigned that, you know and there is, I mean to say, nothing to do with any, you can, spiritual wisdom or anything. So there is nothing like I have discussed you going from darkness to divinity, or from, a very strong vocabulary. Even one Brahm Sutra will take you 20 pages to explain, 30 pages to explain, and that to a person like Adi Shankaracharya, So, but anyway, so these people say they are very something very, day to day language, mean to say. There is nothing divine in this. So that's one school of thought. The next school of thought, which is, uh, uh, I will say very, very scientific, this they call themselves. They grow graphs. curves, and they give you, they say, by this I have entropy, dystrophy, and these curves, I say they prove indirectly that it's a language. But as you are very well told, if you ask them to read, they say we can't read, but we can prove that it is a language. So I don't believe in that kind of work very much, because you really have to, you can't just go on doing that for long. So as a stepping stone, it's okay, but to convince Western, but I don't say, because we have a very rich vocabulary. Hinduism has a very rich vocabulary.
Not
Uh,
only the Western scholars, but indigenous scholars are also working on it, and they are unable to So, did you try to connect with them? That's the
I'll
thing.
try to.
can I just come in?
Yes.
She what she asked earlier was about the language. You mentioned about Brahm
Not
Sutra.
only the Western scholars,
Whether the
but
Brahm Sutra is written
indigenous
in the same
scholars are also
language
working on it,
or it
and
is
they are
written in
unable to
Sanskrit.
So, did
So
you
if it is
try
written
to
in Sanskrit,
connect with them?
then what
That's
is
the
the
thing.
relation between Brahm Sutra language and the language written on the seal or the script there?
See, language part, I can tell you. Actually, if you go to in detail, in even in Rig Veda, like to take your attention that in Rig Veda there are two kind of Sanskrit. One, madam must be knowing, there is a old Sanskrit and a new Sanskrit. The old Sanskrit is written by different group of rishis, whereas the new Sanskrit in the later part of the Rig Veda is written by a different school of rishis. There were also school of rishis, you have to understand. So the earlier rishis, they were following a different vocabulary, whereas the later rishis, they were following a different vocabulary because they were from different sects. So what we have to understand that Rig Veda initially, the initial part, the old part, let's say for night, they will use a different word for the night. But for the later part of the Rig Veda itself uses, let's say, different ratri. They say they use a different vocabulary. So
Yeah,
my
Dr. Gupta, I think Dr. Mishra wants to ask. Yes, Dr. Gupta, please.
Sir, there is one query. You are talking about Vedic age, and that came much later. That is from 1752, because early Vedic period till 1000, and 1000 to 600 BC is later Vedic. Now we are talking about 7,000, 6,000 years back script. So let us not deviate from that, because Sanskrit came much later. So that's the thing.
Okay, I will disprove you, because what you have to understand, you have to, very important concept which we miss in all our discussions. You are right, it's not your concept, I understand. It is what there is general on the, getting among the scholars. There is what we call as Hindu tradition. Okay, I will disprove you, because what
You
we
have
have to
muted
understand,
yourself, Dr. Gupta.
there is something called as Hindu tradition. So you know very well that you have read so much history and you have been to all over the world. Hindu tradition is, let's say, 8000 BC, but the written part came very later, and in between the missing part is the Indus seal. So very, very important to understand, as I have, uh, I can tell you straight away. Even if you see Devanagari Punjabi, if you see other languages, in fact they have evolved. Even Sanskrit, Brahmi, they have evolved from Indus script. So that tradition of Indus script, what, let's say you are talking about, let me get exactly to your thing by an example. You are telling, let's say, Dattatreya tradition is from 8000 BC, but the Indus seal, it came about 4000 BC. So it was not that Dattatreya tradition started in the Indus seal was 4000 BC. Even it was before that. So Dattatreya tradition in the Indus seal is a proof. And then there is a Indus seal which talks about Parshurama. And the Parshurama tradition, again, if you see, the Ramayana is around of the same age, around 5000 BC. So Dattatreya tradition of the Tantraism and the Ramayana of around 5000 BC, they exactly match. And this tradition, and even Shiva tradition, Rudra, which they say is the human sacrifice, I say it is the birthday seal of Kartike, that is also around 5000 BC. So these seals themselves are talking us of a timeline. And let's say, coming back to Dattatreya seal, the things which I have read, the vocabulary which is there, there is a very special character in Dattatreya. They say in Daladan Rishi, whenever he recalls him, whenever he remembers him with a good heart, he will appear in the Daladan Rishi ashram. So this Indus seal actually gives the scene of that ashram. In that ashram, it is mentioned that in very many scriptures, even in Shiva scripture, they say they see the beauty. How people are confusing Shiva and Dattatreya. Even in Shiva literature, they say Shiva and Parvati, they went and they saw Dattatreya in the Daladan Rishi ashram, that there is a tiger who is chasing a deer, and this tiger, sorry, not chasing the deer is chasing the tiger, and the Parvati is, she's stunned. She says, how, Lord, how this is
No,
happening?
Dr. Gupta, just hold on. I
Dattatreya
think Dr. Mishra, no, no,
are
no,
different.
one moment. Dr. Mishra wants to ask him a question. Yes, Dr.
Sir, as we have paucity of time, let us stick to the question.
Yeah.
And if we are unable to find the answer, we can switch over to another question.
Tell me.
Because otherwise we won't be able to encompass all points.
Yeah, yeah,
So we will be coming to Dattatreya because I have
yeah,
certain
yeah. Please,
questions
please.
related to Dattatreya, but let us go gradually as I went through your work. So I have culled out certain questions.
Yeah, please go ahead.
And Dr. Gupta, as you just now said, that we all are aware of Brahmi script, ancient Brahmi script. And as you know, that James Prinsep had deciphered it in 1837, much later.
You have mute, Dr.
1837,
Gupta, you have muted yourself. Yeah. Yes, please, Dr.
in 1837, he had deciphered. How he deciphered it? Because fortunately, why I'm saying, because bilingual inscriptions were found by him, and they were Aramic and in Greek language. So that helped him to decipher Brahmi script. So what I wanted to ask, have you found any bilingual inscriptions? Because that will help you to decipher the Indus script. So that's the thing, that's the question.
Okay, madam. I think I have answered that initially also, because, but this is a very good question, because many thousands are asking this. We are always waiting for a rock, or a parallel kind of a script. But I may tell you, this is my biological hypothesis is the only one around the globe which deciphers Indus script without a stone, because we are humans. I am a human. I know how my human biology works, and my hypothesis of deciphering Indus script is based on human biology. It is not going to be based on some edict or some rock or some parallel language. I don't have to wait for that. My area of research, my area of deciphering Indus script is very well. Your question is very pertinent, and we must understand that by my method of discovery, it doesn't require any rock at all. Thank you.
Thank you. But again, I have a query here related to your question. Because whatever is your biological finding, whatever is the anatomical finding, it has to be based on, history is based on facts, okay? So what you are calling about rocks, what you are calling about archaeological findings, that even you are showing in your presentation. As for example, I'm just giving you one example. Uh, like historians have come to the conclusion that we had trade relationship, and it is not based on any sources because we can't read it, literary sources. But seals have been found in Sumeria. Their seals have been found in India. That means we had trade relationship with them. Okay. And they have this Elamite script. And according to some, it has not yet been deciphered, even that script. So that is called Sumerian script is Elamite. So we have not yet been, the day it will be, because they are saying that in Sumeria, they used to call Indus Melhua. But again, there are controversies. Historians have not agreed on that. Melua. So once it is deciphered, it will be much easier for us to decipher. So far we have no bilingual inscription. Only Elamite we are banking on. So
So
if you
what is your question, Dr. Mishra?
I'm going to answer. I have
my
understood. Don't worry.
question is,
Mr. Lal, don't worry. I have understood.
One moment,
I
Dr.
will
Gupta.
answer it. I will answer it. I will answer it. Don't
Dr.
worry.
Gupta,
I will answer it.
1 minute. Our viewers have to understand what is the question.
Okay, okay.
What is your specific question, Dr. Mishra?
I have
my,
understood.
my question is, so far there is no bilingual inscription. So it is very difficult to decipher this Indus Valley script.
Yeah, Dr. Gupta, please.
See, as I have already told you, my biological hypothesis doesn't require another script, but I will answer your Malwa question and Elamite question.
No. First, we will, Dr. Gupta, you say that biological, you don't require
Mr.
any,
Lal, let me answer.
but is there any scientific proof for your biological thing?
Mr. Lal, let me answer now, please. See, I will first answer your Elamite question, which is very, very pertinent because very people are missing that bus. Many people do. You have raised a very important, but I'll talk you with the proof. Now, the best Elamite example where you have rightly pointed out, it is actually just like another Indus script, is the stone of, we say, table of loin, which is there in the Louvre Museum, and it is there in France, Paris. This is a very wonderful example. And many of the scholars, I was wonderstruck. You have raised I think the very deeper inside, which I really never wanted to touch because, I don't want to go too much bobbling about the Elamite, which actually, if you read the table of loin, again, it is very, very, very much similar to the Indus script. And you are hitting on the point because they say there is an Akkadian script and then there is a Elamite script on table of loin. So if you see the table of loin, that kind of double writing is already there. And if you see there, many people are claiming they have read, and as you are telling Esco Paprola this and that. So why don't they claim the US 10,000 US dollar price? I simply say anybody who says who has read, they can claim 10,000 US dollar price. And now I'm going to claim it. Your answer is simple and sweet. I am going to claim the 10,000 US dollar price. That's why I'm not actually telling you. And if I tell you what is written on that, but one claim I can get you, I can break through the one thing on this show is that what is written on this is a 3-letter, this is a 3-line script, and it's a very long script. There are 17 characters. And in one of the character, they say there is a czar, and then there is a man with the arrow, then there is a man with the spear, then there is a fish. 3 fish are there, and one fish with the horns, one fish with the cap, and one fish with the hook. So I have deciphered all those. They are all vowel and consonant, and even that tradition is going on even today. So I'm going to publish it. So that's exactly, and table of loin and Elamite, and they all answer your questions.
Yes, Dr.
Dr.
Mishra.
Gupta, I just wanted to tell you, so many authors, so many scholars have already discovered those fish type, the czar type, and because purple, there is a list, and that is called M77 figure list. 471 figures have been identified. That we will discuss it later on because I'll come over to that question.
Okay.
My next question is.
But Dr. Mishra, may I ask you one thing? Yeah. Are you satisfied with the first or 2 questions which you have asked or not? Because viewers wants to know, I am sure the viewers also wants to know whether the language which has been shown in that seal or the script has been, because Dr. Gupta said it's a biological thing. Now, whether biologically, are you satisfied? Yes, it can be biological, because as a layman, my query is, if it is a biological, is there any scientific proof that anyone has researched on that, the biologically, how it was shown that this is a biologically, this is the script, it means this?
Dr. Goel, it is too early in the conclusion, then we can say that.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will be disheartening for
okay. Please go ahead, Dr. Mishra.
Yes.
Yes.
So, because he has made a right effort. So let us,
Yeah,
it is
yes.
a discussion, and I'm not coming and jumping over to any conclusion.
Okay. Yes, please.
My next question, Dr. Gupta, is that you must be aware of the style. I'm talking about style of Indus Valley script or a Harappan script, because this style is known as Bastrafodane. What is Bastrafodane? It is bi-directional. Okay, like when you talk about Devanagari, it is from left to right. When you write Sanskrit script, it is again from left to right. But Urdu is from right to left. But scholars are saying that the problem they are facing in Bastra Foden is they are reading from left to right, and then it is bi-directional. It goes right to left, then again left to right. So it is circuitous, it is linked. So can you just highlight on the style of Indus Valley script? Did you come across to that?
Very nice. Dr. Mishra, you have raised a very pertinent and unknowingly you might not be knowing it's a very biological question.
You have muted again, Dr. Gupta.
So, how it is a biological question, we have to understand. Human language, mind it, phonation, we speak continuously. So, once we speak, it is like this, then like this. It is like this language actually in Indian culture. I may tell you, you have used the word, other word, I will tell you a very uh, Sanskrit word or a very Hindu word is haluka. Haluka, this language is known as haluka. And this language is known as in ancient Brahmi or Saraswati language itself. Saraswati civilization comes from Saraswati script. And this actually is known as Saraswati script. And this script pattern is known as haluka. Haluka means when you plow the field and the ox runs not like continuously like this in a serpentine way, and this matches exactly why they call it, our ancient people call it haluka, because when we speak continuously without any comma, question mark, exclamatory mark, or anything. So that's why this language is known as haluka, and this is the known as Saraswati script. And in this is based on very, very human biology. Number one. Number two, because now you can realize the point what you are touching is very biological. The symmetry, come back to the symmetry. When you go like this and you come back again like this, let's say if you are writing A, I will simplify for you A, and you are using U, and you are writing M, Om. Let's say A, U, M here. And if you come back and start writing from here, again you will write A, U, M. It you write the same way. Because why? Because it is very symmetrical. Only thing is Om, when you are writing it is AUM, and while you are writing back it is AUM. But because they are very, very symmetrical words, so it is very easy to write, and the symmetry helps you a lot. But if you write, let's say I tell you R, if you write R when you are writing left to right, and when you are coming back, you write R, you try to write a mirror image, then it becomes a problem that you are writing in this direction. Then you have to reverse the R. That gives you the problem. But if it's a symmetrical word, let's say O, if you write O, whether you are going from left to right or you are going from right to left, it is same. So this is the beauty of InduScript actually. So this is how the Haluka pattern they were able to follow. You know how I broke this code when once I went to the field of, I'll tell you how I broke this code. Even I was not sensitive about it. I went to the field, and when I went to the field, there was this cauliflower. All of the field was studded with cauliflowers. Then I see, my God, so much symmetry, so much, and one farmer was plowing the field. Then I say, oh my God, it is like a haluka. He is writing on the ground. In very many our scriptures, they say everything is dug in the ground. Vedas are written on the ground. Vedas are inside the ground, or they are, all those kind of similes. But this epitome, I really got to say, oh my God, they are writing on the ground. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful language. And they are talking about symmetry. So I think that's your answer. I will not get very much impressed on this biological aspect, but I think I have made the point.
Yeah. Thank you so much. But because of that, scholars are finding it difficult. So, did you find any difficulties in deciphering? No.
I am a doctor. For me, I know language tongue when it moves, how it moves in which word. I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to do and create MRI studies also. That's why I wanted to go for and have a government project, or I'm looking for an investor where, because I don't want to document by just talking to you and like that. I want to document based on my MRI and dynamic video MRI, which is a bit costly affair. And so because even I can do it on me, and when I talk, I do make my video MRI, all the words will come out. So it's a very simple thing, but it's a cost intensive.
So now I'm coming over to your, like, that is very close to your heart. I went through your presentation because as I was not there in the second presentation, and what I read, like your recorded message, your assertion is Indus or Harappan script is alphabetic. It is not pictographic, as claimed by historians. But while explaining three types of seals, like fish type, zarpin type, then man holding arrow type, your deduction was based on figure. Like there, you did not explain alphabet. So my query is whether the script is pictographic or alphabetic or both. Can you please amplify on that?
To cut short, it is totally alphabetic. It is all complete letters. There are full letters, there are half letters, there are complex letters, and there are letters but letters. Why I'm using, just to complete your answer, Dr. Mishra, why I'm using this is to make people, because people are very familiar, to talk to common people. You like a fish with the with the horn, they feel it's stuck to the memory, but it is actually a complex word. If you say fish with the hook, again it is a complex word, it is a combo word. If you see a fish with a cap, again it is a complex word. You are adding one word, you are combining two words together. So it's very simple actually, but and it is a simple way of telling. The people are confusing czar to decode that czar is a real. I have to take, I will say 15 minutes when I will, come with and with my decipher. And most important is that, nowadays, if you see, Google have done a wonderful job. If you see Google culture and art, they have made Egyptian language like that. So I want to do like that too. They have used machine learning, artificial intelligence, and they have that all that data, Egyptian data under one roof. So we in India and with Indian government help or other investors, I want to create a similar software which looks very simple as you have told. The fish plus horn, fish plus cap, fish plus, they're all letters. I don't want to, but why I'm using that vocabulary? Because very many historians, let's say, as you say, if they see fish, they say it is mean. And because mean is there in Tamil, in Telugu, in Sanskrit, in Hindi, so mean, everybody, mean is a common word. So mean machli we know. So that's not the thing. It's but then what is most important is that it is easy for public to catch it. So all the scholars, everybody know, oh, he's telling this fish is mean, so everybody knows that. It gets popular, you get name and fame. But if you see the 10,000 US dollars, three lines, nobody has written the alphabet, all the vowel part. Everybody has done some rebus or some meanings or some which no direct. Nobody till now has a biological hypothesis. Nobody on earth in these 100 years and 100 papers I have seen, nobody has. Even I had the book from Amazon. I spent a lot of money to read these books. Is anybody really thinking like me? But I was, every time I was saddened, I was excited, then I was saddened. I said, okay, somebody, as you are telling, I send my work to somebody who is on this line, but nobody is there, sadly.
Okay, thank you. But again, that query remains with me because when I was going through your slides, you did not show any alphabets.
Because
On
it's
the
a copyright
contrary,
issue.
you were
Dr. Mishra,
emphasizing on pictures.
it is a copyright issue. I will disclose each and every word and letter and vowel and
Okay.
everything on earth. And it will be so computational. Even, see, I went to London. I went to museum there. But what has happened in the museum? They have the Indus seals. They have, let's say, some 10 Indus seals on display. So what we will do once we create the software, we'll ask them to load those seals into the computer. That data we will get, but copyright will remain with them. But we will get a permission to use, because what is the interpretation of that will come out through our software. So whatever I am claiming, I'll create a keyboard. So you plug in those words, the meaning exactly will come in Hindi, English, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Malayalam, Telugu, and Marathi.
We are eagerly waiting for that, because that will be rewriting for historians.
Yes.
Because so now we are groping in darkness, Dr. Gupta.
That's why I'm
Whatever
telling you,
is
I name it
based on,
darkness to divinity. This is
yes,
darkness to divinity.
we are just based on archaeological, so we are also waiting for that. But one query is in my mind. When alphabets you say, there are counted numbers, like in English, in Roman we have 26 alphabets, in Devanagari, Kokho Gogho, all those things. If you must have gone through Nisha Yadav's latest work, and she has found more than 470, 600 signs. So do you mean to say these many alphabets were there? Because it has to be in limited number. So if you have any slide where you can show us the alphabets, it will be very enlightening for us.
Dr. Mishra,
Yeah.
this is a very, very, I will say, what I should use the word. I think it is a very, very simplistic
Okay.
view of interpreting Indus civilization and keeping people in the dark. I may
Yeah.
tell you, I was shocked at what people are talking of these things. If you see, I have actually already given you the clue, biological clue. This is the beauty of our. That's I got more in love with our language, Sanskrit, Hindi, and Devanagari, and especially in the Indus script. You know the beauty. Ka kha ga gha is there. But if I tell you a word like siddhi, sa, the, and the is at the bottom. So
Yeah.
siddhi, there is a vertical letter also, and that is a combination. That is a combination. That is a combination. As I told you, fish with the head, and fish with the horn, and fish with the wire, so, or a hook, as they call it. So there is a combination. I don't know where this
So
combination.
again, you are banking on pictures.
No. You again, you don't get me. See, these are not pictures. They are letters, Dr. Mishra. You will be surprised,
I
and
know,
it is.
but that's the thing I wanted my viewers to see that.
That's
How
the
did you identify with alphabet?
Dr. Mishra, that's the only with folding hands. I'm telling you, it's a copyright issue. Otherwise, that's already with me. I have made all the paintings. I have, last time I came with the Dholavira board. I have the US 10,000 US dollar board ready. I have the Dholavira stone ready. I have all the paintings, all the alphabet ready. Everything I have painted because of the copyright issue. Because if you put them on digital word, somebody can hack it. So what I am doing, I am getting my paintings made for them. I am not getting it digitally done even. So that you have to understand, because the people are very good in hacking things. So I have not taken any chance with them. So what
No,
I have done,
I never wanted to question you, but in your first presentation, you had said you have decoded, and
yes,
that's why I made those questions. Otherwise, my intention was
it's very
never
good.
there
It's very good.
to
I may
refute
tell you,
you.
I may tell you, that's why very emphatically I am breaking the seals first. That's why I tell he is Dattatreya, because it is written. I will tell you the Indus seal where it is written Datta, name is written Datta. Dattatreya name is written. You will find that that tradition is going on in Dholavira. I am so shocked how people can be befooled and how people are befooling themselves. You see, this Indus seal is showing a scene, very good pictorial scene as a movie is going on, and Daladan Rishi Ashram is seen. Daladin lives on the dry leaves. It is written in the scripture. There are stories, there are scriptures, and the scene is there on the Indus seal. Daladan Rishi and Shivji is going, and there, and Parvati is seeing the scenario, and there is a bheel, bheel to the story. So everything is there, and the thing is written also. Then I cannot, defame that. That's
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, I I know your work is revolutionary. Okay, I know that, but like in your exposition, you had talked about Dattatreya, and you had claimed that he existed much before 7,000 years. What were the evidences which you have concluded this? On what evidences you have concluded this?
I will say not much before 7,000 years, in the
Okay.
era of 7,000 years, because 7,000 BC, I will say, because if you see uh, Ramayana, and if you see the this Indus Valley, and you see Dattatreya tradition, here tradition means a very, very nice thing. What we say, the divine light, the Brahm Prakash, or what we say, the spiritual light. There is a tradition where we say it passes on, it doesn't stay at with one guy. So they say they pass it to from A to B to C to D. So this tradition goes on, and this is what we say Smarth Guru tradition. We pass on the spiritual light. We pass on the Brahmanad. We pass on the Brahm Prakash. So this what we call in other religion as the holy word, or as what we say the holy light. So and what we say as the kingdom of light. In Christianity we say kingdom of light, and we say here as the Brahm Dham. So Brahmanad is known as holy word in Christianity. Holy light is known as the Brahm Prakash, and these word vocabulary has percolated into the other civilizations. But right from the traditions of 8,000 BC, if you see the literature tells us, and in the Indus seal, which are around, let's say, 6,000 BC, 4,000 BC, 3,000 BC, and these uh, traditional things are written. If you see Dattatreya arriving in the Daladan ashram, and he's sitting, and why he's not like a Shiva? Because Shiva is already always shown as a naked person. Shiva is never shown wearing the clothes. Here, if you see in this seal, Shiva this is shown wearing a kavach. He is shown laden from the all throughout the both the arms are laden, and even over the chest there is rope like things are there, and this is classically defined in this literature as Vajra Kavach, and there is a Vajra Kavach stotram also. Documentation is there in my presentation. Puneet code indus.com. This all details are there that he is wearing a kavach. Shiva never wears any kavach.
Okay. One thing here I just wanted to ask you, because if you know, there are 18 Purans, and one of the Purans, Agni Puran, talks about Dattatreya only. And then Narad Parivajak Upanishad, Yagyavalakya also Upanishad, but they claim that Dattatreya came into existence between 3rd century before Common Era to 3rd century Common Era. That came much later to Indus Valley. But you are claiming 7,000. So that was my question. What made you come to that conclusion?
Okay, man. Number one, I may tell you, I think there is a very serious error going on here. If you see, there are two panths. I will quote, and I have loaded their literature also with reference. I'm not just telling like that. There are two panths. One is Mahanubhav Panth, Maha Anubhav. They say it is from the experience. So
Yeah.
they have named their sect as Maha Anubhav Panth. They have 1,000 temples in Maharashtra, and there the Dattatreya is born in Maharashtra, Mahurgarh. In Mahurgarh, you have his mother's temple is there, his temple is there, Parshuram temple is there, and there is a Ram Ban, Ram Ban Ganga, where the Ram has hit and created the Ban. I mean to say, here the tradition, if you ask the Anubhav Panth, they give you the proof. And number second, there is another Panth known as Nath Panth. There is a Gorakhnath and Machandar Das story. This Machandar Das, if you see the tradition, and this Machandar Das, then he is the Gorakhnath tradition. Again, it is a ancient tradition, and ancient and Mahanubhav Panth, if you talk to their what we say scholars, and they keep it very secret. Sad part is that you will find they will not tell you that easily. They say, come to the jungle, come to our ashram. I have got this information after very great difficulty. You won't believe what I have posted in the my Puneet code indus.com, and what I call say Dattatreya Daladan seal. I have named it's not Pashupati seal. The sad part, in the whole thing is Cauldron is not Cauldron, Pashupati is not Pashupati, and the human sacrifice is the birth celebration. So this Dattatreya thing again, our own people are keeping it very secret. And this Mahanubhav Panth, the tradition is still alive. They celebrate his birthday, they celebrate his sleep and his waking up, and he's eating, he's bathing, and he's sleeping every day. In Mahurgarh, this is celebrated every day.
Uh, my conjecture was based on that only, on the Panth, and they claim that from 3rd century before Common Era to 6th century. And in Mehur, actually, my question is corollary to that. Like on the basis of the 3 faces, you connected it with Dattatreya. Okay. But if on the basis of 3, you said that, but if you know that in only in Marathi speaking area, in Mehur, Dattatreya is depicted with 1 head and 2 hands, even in Badami in South India. But in most of the Maharashtra, they call it like Brahma, Vishnu, Pitamaha, you know, and only there he is depicted with 3 faces. But we generally 3 faces, we relate it with Brahma also. So what made you connect it with Dattatreya? That's my question.
Very nice. See, first thing, please don't get carried away that 3 faces is my only and only reason. It is, in fact, the anti reason, as you have already explained yourself, that why 3 faces. Nobody, even their gurus today, they don't have 3 faces. You have to understand the epitome or the representations of 3 faces. As I told you, it is the seed power of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Number one, they are not people. Why I'm totally against this thing thought is, what they have done, they have damaged the Hindu thought in a very great way. By labeling him Shiva, what you do, you take away Brahma and Vishnu. That's a very smart move, if you see. So you do the best damage by taking away 2 main gods from the Hindu stream. And Shiva, they say you go on fighting Shiva, people will, they are not bothered. Because, most important thing is, it is the Trinity. We had the very basic concept of Trinity. And not only that, Trinity is a representation. In my own slide, I have shown a very nice slide, their picture, which has been released by their Panth, that their spiritual gurus are sitting, and above them is a 3-head deity. So 3-head deities, not only this 3-head deity is there, it is having 2 horns, it is having kavach. This is Vajra Kavach. It is mentioned in Vajra Kavach Stotram. And this ashram is mentioned in Daladan Rishi ashram is mentioned. And what is written on the seal, again it is written about what we say power of teleportation. Means when you remember him, he will arrive. Whenever you remember, the Daladan Rishi will remember him. He has that power. It is mentioned in that stotram, and that also I have downloaded in my presentation, Daladan, Dattatreya Daladan presentation. I have updated it, and you will be surprised. I was surprised. This thing, everything is in text, and this Indus seal describes that ashram scenario. And even in Shiva Purana and others, you will find relation. They say we know the Daladan Rishi story because Parvati and Shiva discussion is there. This is again and I may tell you, Dattatreya name is there in Brahmand Purana also, Agni Purana also, and then his name is there in Bhagavatam. 11th second, they call him as Avadhut. So he is famously known as, the common word name you will find in his sect, they say Avadhut. And in fact, I will tell you, I don't know who you are talking, because they are very secret people. I know you will not get the right information. They call him Chaturyugi. Dattatreya is known as Chaturyugi avatar, means they call it, he is in Satyug, he is in Treta Yug, he is in Dwapar Yug, he is in Kali Yug. But mind it, the Satyug is not millions or billions year old. I may tell you, it is all wrong. What is basically, it is again is at around, if you see the model of the holy science book written by Shri Yukteswar Ji Maharaj, and who is he was the teacher of Yogananda Ji Maharaj, autobiography of a yogi. If you read his book, it is not available because it has been copyrighted by American people in the holy science there. And holy science, if you read by Yukteswar Giri, Yuketeshwar Giri totally writes that Satyug was around 7000 BC, which is exactly matching with my scenario here. And Parshuram and Ram happened in 5000 BC. Again, it is actually matching. If you see the Parshuram seal, it is that Dattatreya, when he went to the Parshuram went to the Dattatreya, it is written in Parshuram tradition. If you explore, they say Dattatreya is sitting with two girls on his thigh and they are serving him alcohol. And he gets perturbed, what kind of guru he is. Then he says, no, my guru has sent him. And Parshuram's guru name is also there. And he says, no, my guru has sent him. He is befooling me. He is showing me Maya. He is showing me something else. It is not spiritual wisdom. And must be, he is not drinking alcohol. He is drinking the Amrit. So he gets it as a, yes, sir, Dattatreya, sir, you can't befool me. I know you are befooling me, and I am going to accept you as my teacher. And that Indus seal tell you the same story.
Thank you. But Dattatreya is always depicted with a cow. Do you agree with me?
No, I will say more powerful. More powerful is...
No, I'm saying is depicted with a cow. Kamdhenu,
just see,
and four dogs.
Very right. I know. But
okay.
I will tell
just
you.
A minute.
Okay. Complete.
In your Pashupati, like when I had presented my paper and historians, they say, call it Pashupati. Other animals are there, like tigers are there, rhinoceros are there, but cow is not there. Okay. Out of 2,300 seals, so far, his archaeologists have not found cow symbol. Cow was missing there. So how did you connect it with, you are muted again.
You are muted, and I will just inform you only 4-5 minutes left.
Okay.
So I'll take the question.
Yeah.
Okay. So cow is not there in any of the seals. So how did you connect it with Dattatreya?
Very nice question, madam. Thank you for that. I will tell you, in the ancient tradition, actually, 4 dogs represent the 4 Vedas, and cow, as you have very rightly pointed out this point, that cow is Kamdhenu, it is shown to be the property of Parshuram's father, that you know very well, that it was with the Atriji Maharaj, and Atriji Maharaj was having it. And what happened, once a time, a king who was a student of Dattatreya, he is known as Kartya Virya Arjuna. So this Karta Virya Arjun, he came and he says, sir, I am with a very big army, how you will serve me? Then Parshuram father say, don't worry, I will serve you. I have a cow and she will give everything. Then he found everything was there, food, shelter, she created everything. Then he said, okay, I am the king. While going back, he says, now you give the cow to me. Then this man said, no, sir, please don't take it from me.
My question is, have you got any seal where cow is there?
Okay, I'm coming to that. So I will tell you, it is an indirect proof that we have a Parshuram seal, and this, now I'll come to the cow. Now you have to understand the characteristic of the Dattatreya, which differ it from Shiv, as well as it makes him, Dattatreya is the Kavach. If you see, I'll go side, this is the Dattatreya Maharaj seal, and this is the Kavach he is wearing. You can see at the background. And this is the whole of the thing he is covered with. He is covered with both the arms. If you see, they are covered with these strings.
Dr. Gupta, my complete one thing regarding the seal.
This seal depicts you very, very important thing. This dress, the kavach he is wearing, is characteristic, what we call as in our cancer, when we find a cancer, we say pathognomic. You know, we see it under the microscope and then you say, this is pathognomic of this cancer. Similarly, when I see this seal, the kavach is the Brahm Prakash. It is the Brahm Prakash. It is the Divya Shrir.
My last question is related to unicorn, you know, like cauldron that you talked about. And in that, like when I was going through all the seals that have been that are on of unicorn, I found that the cauldron or crucible are in different shapes. You are muted again, doctor.
Yeah, please.
So they are in different shapes. What made you come to the conclusion that they have they are perforated, because I was going through, in some you can see that, but in most of them in Harappa and in Mohenjo-daro, the unicorn is not having that perforated thing. And second question is, regarding the metals, you said it is of silver. If you go through Harappan script or the seals or anything that have been metals, mostly they have been using copper, bronze, gold, and silver. So what made you think that is made of, that can be of a decorative item, that can be of a eating? Because if you go to hills, you will find that, I'm just telling you, that's my conjecture. I'm not refuting you. So unicorn, can you highlight on that?
Very
That's
nice,
my
madam.
last
In
question.
Actually,
one minute, please.
yeah, actually, madam, this it is very simple. My video is there on the YouTube, and your question is very, very pertinent. It can be 1,000 things. And the Watts and other people were telling it, it is a mini alcohol factory. You know, people associate cauldron with the witchcraft. You know, they trying to put it like a witchcraft. That Indus civilization people were doing some witchcraft thing,
So
and they were.
could you read that? Could you read that?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is cauldron and it is of silver. Could you read that? We are waiting for it because you said it
I
has
will tell
copyright.
now. Now I'll answer your question directly. See, one thing you have to really appreciate is somebody is drawing that cauldron with such a great effort, and you are seeing, you can see the canals, you can see the perforations. So they are not just working for nothing. They are telling you about a tradition which is very, very important and which is very royal. See, point you have to understand: these people are actually working under someone, and there is a kingship, and there is these cauldrons are not used by common people. They are used by only, you know, just like these seals are not used for common people. They are used by very, very, very important people, and you will
Okay, okay. I have to.
require a lot of technology, money, and effort at that time. And that's why cauldron, my video is there, and they are really nothing but very good
Oh,
material, fragrance.
okay, okay. Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Mishra, 1 minute for you for your concluding remarks.
Sir, I still feel like that decoding aspect has not been done, because I could not get that answer. Regarding Dattatreya, I'm not very convinced, because regarding cow and all those things, and they came much later according to the historian, according to the facts that I have come across. Regarding unicorn also, because I cannot refute him just now, and I cannot say that his work is not proper. That's not, because I'm still waiting for his further research work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Cow
Mishra.
is not pathognomio ka Dattatreya. It is a newer tradition. In ancient time, cow actually means, see, buffalo means you are captured in the Kal. Kal means buffalo is the vehicle of Lord Yama. And once cow means, it is a symbolic that you are out of that cycle of birth and death. But the kavach itself represents that you have the divya power, and you do not have to need a cow
Oh,
now, because you already have the Vajra kavach. So you have to
oh,
understand
oh,
the importance of Vajra kavach.
okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. Thank you, Dr. Mishra. And I will tell you, see, today we have seen a very power-packed questions and power-packed answers. We have to
Thank you.
appreciate Dr. Gupta that he has done lots of work, which Dr. Mishra has also acknowledged. The only thing is, because of his copyright issues, he cannot
Will come back.
at this time divulge what he has, what is written there, although he claims that it's a breakthrough. So, but we will come to know only when his copyright is done. So what we will do is we will wait till the time copyright is done. Once he will send us that now the copyright is done, we will come out with another episode of our program. In that, I'm sure he is going to break through for the first time on our show only, because we have given him 3 shows only to discuss and describe, which he has done it. But only thing is, now he is waiting, and which is naturally, because after all, it's a matter of copyright. He has to take the copyright done. So once the copyright is done, he will definitely come. So thank you very much. And today's show, which has come live, shown live on V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, मलनाडु टीवी, न्यूज गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day something special. And tomorrow is a very, very special day for our country. And yes, tomorrow is Children's Day. And once the Children's Day we are celebrating, how come we can forget Chacha Nehru, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru? So tomorrow we are going to celebrate Children's Day on our program, Media Conference with Lal Goel. And mind it, it is for 2 hours because approximately 25 children across India are joining live with me. They will be there and they will be giving their views because children's or the youth are the future of the country, not we oldies. We have done our work. We have to listen to them. They are the real voices. Their views about Chacha Nehru, which they are going to speak tomorrow. And our chief guest, it will be Mrs. Deepa Kaul. She is the niece of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, former cabinet minister, social welfare, government of Uttar Pradesh, and she stays at Ghaziabad. So please tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Mind it, tomorrow program starts at 10 o'clock, a special program on 14th of November. And tomorrow, yes, we are also celebrating Diwali. So advance greetings to all of you for the great Diwali. So thank you very much, Professor Dr. Ranjana Mishra, as well as thank you very much, Dr. Puneet Gupta, and thank you viewers for joining us and viewing our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra.